Hello and welcome to HD Movie Talk. I'm your host, Dean's Beans, and as always, I'm joined by my friend and co-host, Fluffy Duffy. Hello, Harlan.
Wow, you led with friend. I know you told me not to talk.
I was going to say good friend, and then I changed my mind.
Oh, that would have been reaching, for me at least.
Yeah, anyway. Well, it's not just us two today. I'm sure everyone will be happy to hear you're not just going to hear us bickering for the next Netflix episode length. We're here with a special guest, Cold.Kirky. Hello.
Hey, everybody. How
do you feel about being called Cold.Kirky in person? Has anyone ever done that to you before?
Never not ironically. Never not non-ironically. So always ironically.
Okay.
Is what I mean to say. Yeah, just friends. How do you feel about cursing on your show? I probably should have asked that.
No, do what you want.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes my friends will just be little shitters about it, like, oh, Cold.Kirky, and I'm just like, okay.
Yeah. I get that with Dean's Beans, actually.
I get that with Fluffy Duffy, so we're all on the same page.
I get that's the names we chose
Duffy as well.
We gotta stick with the.
Yeah, I get harassed from somebody in this podcast about my name, believe it or not.
I like Fluffy Duffy. That's a pretty good name.
Yeah, I think. Well, actually, it is. I think it's a good name too. But Dean harasses me with it.
I don't like the name Dean's Beans. That's the name here that I don't like. I really appreciate. I think the person with the best TikTok name here is Cold.Kirky.
Yeah, you're right about that one.
It's just kind of my name smushed a little together.
Yeah, it works so well. I've never heard the last name Kirksey before. Is that how?
Yeah.
Wow. This is really interesting conversation right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Tell us about your last name.
Oh, well, actually, there is an interesting story about that.
Please, your heritage.
Yes, I will enlighten you onto that. So you know how, like, kind of at the turn of the 19th century, I think that's the right century.
I get so confused.
A lot of immigrants were coming into the United States, many of them like Irish, Scottish, and there was a lot of discrimination towards those guys. So I think either my great-grandfather or my great-great-grandfather, he wanted to marry a woman, but he was Irish, and his last name was McClanahan, which is what my last name would be if I kept it. So instead of being super Irish and being out by the girl's father, he decided to take his stepfather's last name, which was Kirksey.
Because I think they're both great last names, you know?
Yeah. I wouldn't mind being called Colin McClanahan. That sounds awesome.
McClanahan is a really cool last name as well, you know?
Yeah.
But your last name is out of love.
It's awesome.
So it's cute.
Well, yeah. I always forget. You're Harlan Duffy, aren't you?
Yes. I'm.
No, because I know I have a friend whose last name is Duff. And sometimes I'm like, is he a Duff or Duffy? And I'm like, he's a Duffy.
Duffy, yeah.
Duffy.
Duff is a beer in Simpsons.
It is.
It is, yeah. Never actually watched The Simpsons.
Whoa.
Or not a lot of it. Not a lot of it. Yeah, that's.
I've seen an episode every now and then, but I'm not like a.
Yeah,
religious.
I watch 10 episodes a day. Before I do anything. Okay, this has got off the rails quite quickly. So, want to bring us on to some form of topic?
Yeah, so I think we'll just do what we usually do when we bring a guest on, is kind of give you some interview questions about your time on TikTok. And I think the most appropriate beginning question would be like, how did you get started?
Well, the short answer is it was December of 2020.
Oh, whoop.
It was. I had nothing better to do. I was a little depressy-wessy, and I just kind of was like, "Screw it! I'm going to download TikTok."
That's what I did now. A month later than that, in lockdown. Actually, I just realised the day this podcast comes out is my 1-year anniversary on TikTok.
Hey, there you go.
Wow,
that's my
Wait, the day this podcast so tomorrow?
2 days time.
Tuesday.
Oh yeah, 2 days time.
It's not Monday today.
It's not Monday.
Yeah. My 1-year anniversary was December 11th. So I passed that not too long ago, about a month ago.
I think mine's like February.
Congratulations, 23rd. And then yours is in like a week or two, isn't it, Harlan? After mine.
Yeah, something like that.
Who knows? Anyway,
Yeah.
so what was like your first kind of video that did really well on TikTok?
We don't really talk about that era very much, but of course, my first viral video was the Soctopus video. The first Soctopus that I posted about a month in, that got about 120,000 views. So that was pretty good for a month in. But yeah, a lot of that early era of Cold.Kirky is very cringe.
Don't. I was watching all my old videos yesterday and I was not enjoying myself.
Yeah,
it's hard to watch old
got
videos, especially like I appreciate them because it's nice to go back and watch and see how much you've grown. But
so what do you think you were doing wrong in your first videos?
okay, I think for a lot of the two things. Number one, camera quality. My phone at the time was an iPhone 6S that was cracked. Actually, I have it right over here, I think.
Oh yeah, this is 2020, so iPhone 6S.
Yeah.
Oh,
Crack this out of the case real quick and show you what I was working with for the first.
Oh, that did not sound like a healthy noise.
Oh, it's fine. You see that screen?
Yeah.
That's what I was working with for the first 5 or 6 months I was on TikTok. It got the job done, but not very well. Most of my videos looked like they were filmed on a potato. They were fuzzy. Then I upgraded to I think this is an 11, which is much better. So that helped. And the second thing was I was really leaning into the you have to post 3 videos a day idea that TikTok was pushing. And so it was like I might have like one pretty good video a day, but a lot of it was just filler and crap, and it was just rough. I'm kind of glad I learned from that. I'd rather post like 10 really solid, high quality videos a month instead of pushing out like 60 whatever,
Yeah.
That's what sucks about TikTok. They would rather have the 60 they'd rather have quantity over quality, and I'm not a fan of that.
I don't understand how some creators can. Well, but Dean, you pump out 3 a day, right?
Yeah, around that.
See, like I only pump out
videos.
But Harlan, what you forget is how much less effort goes into my videos than goes into one of your videos.
Right, because I mean, I don't want to assume anything, but I from what I've heard, it sounds like the 3 videos that you do come out to like what 1 video of mine takes.
Yeah. Probably
right?
Around that. Yeah.
Okay.
Because you like write scripts and
yeah.
Do you write scripts for your videos? Like, or do you just kind of go off the cuff conversation?
No, well, because a lot of it is like facts that I need to know.
Okay.
And I also am like one of the worst speakers in the world, so I have to write stuff out.
See, the thing is, I'm kind of the opposite. I've tried to write scripts for certain YouTube videos and stuff, and then when I try and then do the video, it's just awful.
Well, mine are highly edited. Like I say one sentence or like half a sentence at a time.
But like I just can't.
I usually try to do a little further. Are you familiar with Scott the Woz?
No.
Oh man.
No.
Oh man, he's the best content creator on the entire internet. He's a YouTuber. He mostly talks about his stupid Nintendo games. I take a lot of influence from his style. So yeah, it's scripted videos, high quality editing. It's a lot more work than just, I don't know.
As Harlan can attest to, when I speak off the cuff, I never say anything stupid or embarrassing ever.
He never does that.
No, never once in my life have I said something which I then immediately regret forever.
Well, that's kind of part of the job.
Yeah, the thing
is,
I just kind of make a script in my head while I'm thinking about the video, and then I'll sit down, and then it will take me a few attempts to say what I want to say, or I'll say something wrong and just keep it in the video. It's just sometimes how I work.
Yeah, more fun that way.
Exactly. I feel like gives me a layer of authenticity. That's what I tell myself.
Nice.
I don't always write scripts for my videos, but I do quite a lot. Like you said, I kind of like have like a vision in my head of like I know how it's gonna go. I know what the directorial and editing stuff's gonna look like, and I can do the script in my head from there. But there's some big stuff to where I'm like, okay, I need to write this down.
Right, because like I have like a lot of ideas when I'm thinking about making a video, and if I don't write them down, I am going to like go back to record 8 times because like I wanted to do like I need to do that one bit or something.
Yeah.
So it needs to be written down, or else it's not going to go my way.
Yeah, my notes app is absolutely insane.
Oh, my notes app is TikTok only. At this point.
See, I don't use my iPhone to write my script. I have like, so the system, how I have it is like my, let's say like my tripod's like right here. I have my phone hooked up and then I just read off my computer, because if I was hopping in between and like having like it's not having to stop record and then go back, that would, oh my God.
That would be a lot.
That would probably be
so you have your
insane.
desktop right there in front of you?
It's a little bit to the side.
So it's always there.
Yeah, like if you look at
Just
some of my videos, you'll see my hand going like, and that was one of the craziest things.
Okay, I've got a question. Which, so I can't remember becoming mutuals with you, but I feel like I've been seeing your TikToks for quite a while now, Colin.
Oh.
I don't. Do you remember? No.
It's been a while.
I feel like it has been.
I think at least like 6 months.
Yeah,
if I'm not.
So my question is going to be, because I do enjoy all your content. Obviously, that's why
thank you.
follow
Likewise.
you. But how would you describe your like TikTok content or style to someone? Just because I'm interested to see how you word this. For someone like Harlan, I think it's a lot more simple. No offense, that's not an insult, but
no, mine is very. Yeah. I mean, no, I don't take offense to
that. Well, like again, I'd say going back, if you knew Scott the Woz, I'd say it's almost like take a 30-second segment of Scott the Woz, and that's what my content is. The best compliment I've ever gotten was when someone called me Scott the Woz Jr., and I was like, oh, that's what I'm pushing for. But it's kind of just random comedy variety hour. Sometimes I like to talk more critically. Sometimes I'll do like ranking videos where I take like an entire series and I slap the papers on the wall and I'm like, this is why Super Mario Galaxy is the best game ever created. Super Mario Brothers 2, The Lost Levels, not so much so. That's kind of what I do. Other times it's just random stupid comedy videos like Soctopus, the Go-Go Godzilla slide kick. One of my favorites was the 6969 day.
I love that. Did that actually? Because I when I saw it, it was on such criminally low views, and I was like, I'm happy with this. Did it do any better?
TikTok doesn't like the word virgin.
Okay. It was a Harlan's so lost right now.
A little bit, but I definitely know TikTok censoring to be. And
no,
I can definitely relate to that.
I'll try to explain the video. Actually,
you want me to?
Yeah, go on. I feel like you'll do a better job than me. You were the one that made it.
Let me grab them real quick. So it all started with my first viral video, which was the Soctopus video. I went day 6,618 with no sex. This is my buddy Soctopus. That's not the exact script, but that's my guy. He's gonna go right up here for the rest of the interview.
Oh yeah. Does he stand up?
He can. I think the ledge might be too small.
Oh boy.
It was a good. It did make me laugh because what, and then it really upset me because I worked out how old I was and realized I'm past my 69.
Past it. Yeah, I had a lot of people saying that in the comments, but
I was like just past it. I was like, I feel like I was 69.90 or something like that, and I was like, Harlan, you're past it because you're older than me.
What's 69 day?
It's when you
how many days I've been alive?
69 days.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you're older than me, so you're past yours, I'm afraid.
So my day 6,969 with no sex is my 969th day alive. So that was the whole joke of the video. It was on January 3rd. I spent my entire New Year's Day and the upcoming time doing that video.
It was so good, and I'm so
yeah.
Everyone listening to this, go to Cold.Kirky on TikTok and scroll down. And
actually, you don't need to scroll down. It's like the third or fourth video because I haven't. Been
there you go. I can see it. It's really good.
Okay, I think I think I have to watch this.
That's criminally low.
Yeah.
Which one is it? Oh, I see.
Yeah. Well, there's two of them.
Just want to make it quick. Just watch the rap part of it, which is the third video.
Yeah, watch the one. Is that the one with like 300 views?
Yeah.
Yeah, watch the
that
one.
Was the one that was. Okay, so while he looks that up, I'll explain why it was muted. It says virgin, which I am, and I guess TikTok will censor the word virgin, but not naked girls shaking their asses on camera. So.
I really, I'm glad it came up on my. I'm glad it came up on my TikTok. I'm glad I was one of the lucky few.
Yeah. So I posted the original video. It did fairly well. Got up to like 3,000. Then I was like, okay, that one took up most of my content creation time for this past week. So I was just going to post the final segment of the video, which was song. And that's the one that got the audio taken down. I was like, oh man, I tried to send an appeal. It took like 3 days. I was like, whatever, I'll delete the video. I'll try re-uploading the video. Again, it was muted upon arrival. Then because I guess like the algorithm figured out that this was a repost of the other video, the original video got muted as well. And I was like, this is BS. But yeah, luckily after a couple days, both of the audios got restored, and I don't know, felt a little discouraged after that one because I thought those were two of my best videos of all time.
I think I'd have to agree. I think you do. Obviously, you've got iconic ones like the Mario Star one.
Yeah, that's my best video.
But
just under 900K, not bad. Not bad,
nice,
I think.
Nice. What did you think of the video, Harlan? Now you've returned.
It was pretty good. I liked it. I like the rapping part.
It's good.
Thank you. I loved it.
I saw that and I was so annoyed. I don't know. I'm just thankful I'm one of the very few people that got to watch it.
Yeah, it's a cult classic.
That's gonna be one of when they're people are doing TikTok studies at college in 60 years, they're gonna go, oh, this one was really the underrated masterpiece of college.
Horrors. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. Did I have some? I don't think I have any more questions. Do you, Harlan?
I don't think so. Do we get into the real conversation now?
Yeah, that was just your entree.
That was a warm up.
That was the warm up.
That was the 18-minute warm up.
Okay, so when we have a guest on, we ask them to bring on their best movie.
Well, so that would have to be Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Phenomenal movie. I do, however, have a feeling that you guys have probably talked about that to death on here.
Actually have not.
What?
Honestly,
you guys have never talked about.
I said we've had what? You're probably like 10th guest, something like that, and not a single one of them have brought on Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh my gosh, that's criminal.
That's what I think this is going to be our first movie that has two people. Like, Harlan, serious question for you. Like, let's say in like a couple months we ask someone on to be a guest and they say, oh, can we talk about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse? What do we say?
We say we already did that.
Yeah, so do they have to choose something else?
I get the privilege of talking about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse with you guys. Oh, what a brilliant day.
You are in fact, I just checked the list. You are our 10th guest. So congratulations on that as well.
Double digits. Yeah. Way to go, Dean Duffy.
Oh, honestly, we've talked about both The Amazing Spider-Man and Spider-Man Homecoming as people's favorite movies.
Yeah, that's where we haven't talked about Into the Spider-Verse before. Yeah. For The Amazing Spider-Man.
That's odd.
We've done so many Spider-Man. What? Okay, how many we've done what? One?
There's 9 Spider-Man movies.
We have talked about on this podcast just to really delay us talking about the movie once again. We've done Spider-Man 3. We've done The Amazing Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man No Way Home. This is our 6th Spider-Man movie.
We need to do all of them, don't we, Dean?
Yeah.
The 6th Spider-Man movie before Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, we've got through 5. Wow, that's a lot.
So
Well,
is that including all of your episodes or just the episodes including guests?
That's our Spider. No, that's just Spider-Man. That's all our episodes.
So all the Spider-Mans?
So we've done 6. This will be number 6. So what's that? We've done 32 episodes. I want to know what percentage of episodes we're on about Spider-Man.
Okay,
That
so
is
I have a question.
18% Spider-Man
Yeah.
podcast.
Wow, look
I was
at
gonna
you,
say just
Mr.
under
Math
20.
over here.
18% Spider-Man. Anyway, we should probably talk about the movie.
Yeah.
Stop
Okay.
delaying it.
So
Okay.
considering, Colin, you brought this movie in, I'm going to assume your ranking of where this movie lands on like your Spider-Man list. But
Yeah.
Dean, where does
Number
this one
1,
land?
all the way, baby.
Yes, of course.
Number 1. This is maybe my second or my third favorite movie ever. I flip between the two, but it's definitely in my top 3 favorite movies ever. It's my favorite superhero movie ever. It's my favorite animated movie ever.
Mm-hmm.
It's my
Okay,
favorite
I'm
movie.
gonna get a little heat for this one.
I know. Yeah, I know. I was waiting for this. Go on. Loser.
For me, it lands at 4.
4.
Okay.
I can accept it in the top 3.
Okay, hear me out.
Top 4, that's
Can I
too low.
Your
Here-
top
no,
3
Dean, nobody else can
is,
speak until I
is
speak.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man
Okay,
2, and
okay.
Spider-Man
Hear
No
him
Way
out.
Home. Is that correct?
It goes Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
This is where
Spider-Man,
it gets really hard for me because
Okay.
2 is honestly tied. So first one's Spider-Man, just because I have a nostalgic bias towards that movie.
Sure.
2 is Spider-Man No Way Home. Third one is Spider-Man 2. And fourth one is Into the Spider-Verse. Into the Spider-Verse used to be at 3. But then No Way Home knocked it down.
There's something wrong with you.
Dude, but they're
I
okay.
just gotta say you're wrong. You're wrong.
I love the Tobey movies, like with a passion.
Yeah, that's fair. I get childhood, but if we're talking like just how perfect Into the Spider-Verse is, it's one of the best damn movies ever made.
It is really good.
It's
Yeah, Harlan.
Other movies are
Anyway,
really good.
Colin, just to let
Yeah.
you know, I am looking for a new co-host for this podcast. And
Cheat you.
yes.
Okay, I feel like I love this movie.
Yeah.
Of
Okay,
course
I'm
you
not
do.
really saying
He's just saying
it
that.
sounds bad because it's at
Sure,
4.
Mr. Fourth Place.
Oh my
Guys,
God.
before we started recording,
Whatever.
Harlan said to me, I really don't want to talk about this movie because I hate it so much.
Where's the end call button? Get me out of here.
Anyway, okay. How do we start talking about the movie? I forget.
Oh my god.
Okay, actually, I know.
Oh wait, do you guys have a formula?
Not really.
Okay.
Okay, I've got a question. Do you want to tell us about the first time you watched this movie?
Yeah. If I remember.
Go,
do
do
you
you want me to go first? Because
I can go first.
You want to go first?
I
No,
think
go
I've heard
first.
your story before. Go
Guys, I'm the guest here.
on.
So like come on.
We're like, Colin, what should we do?
Colin, what do we talk about usually?
This podcast doesn't have anything together.
He's onto us, Dean.
It's
I
the
thought this
first
was
guest
a
to
high
figure
quality
it out.
production. Oh,
All right, do you want to go first? Because I think mine might be a little antagonistic.
No, I know
If we
yours,
start off.
so you can go last.
Okay.
I just like, oh, Spider-Man movie, and I remember I went to go watch it in the cinema by myself because I have so many friends. Sorry. And then I just obviously wasn't expecting anything. I watched it and I was like, that was incredible. And then I dragged the friends that I did have, which I previously established, to come and watch this movie in the cinema with me for a second time. And at the time, I was just like, this is like the second best movie I've ever watched. Just the best comic book movie ever. And I just fell in love with it straight away.
Second best?
Second best movie ever, yeah.
What's number 1?
what's your first?
It's not, I don't have a massive baby.
Oh my God, you're
poster
right.
on
My
my
bad. You're right. Okay.
Oh,
Baby.
right. It's Baby Driver,
Yeah,
right?
I used to have the massive
remember
poster
that.
there, and whenever I'd be on a live and someone would go, "What's your favorite movie?" I'd just go, "Oh, I don't know. What do you think?"
Oh.
But this little pink thing here is a Baby Driver poster.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I am with my Mario games over here. I'm gonna try not to show most of my basement because it's an absolute mess. But this is my recording setup.
Nice.
I got the
That's
classic
really
Mario
nice.
cases right there.
Oh.
So like,
Sorry, our audio listeners are really missing out on how nice that was.
Poor audio listeners. Imagine.
Yeah. So do you post this? Do you post like?
We do video and it's on Spotify and YouTube.
Gotcha.
Anyway, we're talking about a movie here, aren't we?
Yeah. So, Colin, what was your experience first, if you remember?
Man, okay. Car. This, I don't know if you heard the honk, but it was loud.
We didn't hear it. There's
only 2 movies that I've ever seen in theater 3 times.
Go on.
That is Into the Spider-Verse and No Way Home. Into the Spider-Verse is just phenomenal. Like, I plan to go see No Way Home 3 times because we're like, okay, I'll go with my family, then I'll go with my friends, then I'll go with my other friend group. But this was like oh my God. I'm bad at telling stories.
So no, you're good. We're following you. We're following you.
But yeah, Into the Spider-Verse, I went to see it with my mom and sister first. We went to see it at the Dolby Theater.
The Dolby.
The Dolby. You guys got Dolbys up in Chicagoland.
We got some Dolbys.
You got them Dolbys?
We don't have any Dolbys.
You ain't got no Dolbys in the UK, man. Pieces of shit over across the pond.
Hey, you guy ain't got no Dolbys.
Hey. This guy ain't got no Dolbys.
Wow.
And this is how most of my videos are made.
Okay.
Yeah, went to see it with my family at the Dolby.
Did you have like any anticipation for this movie? Like, did you have high expectations?
Oh, yes. I saw it. I thought the trailers looked good, but it kind of gave off the vibe that it was either going to be amazing or not too great, you know? Because I don't know if you remember a little movie called The Emoji Movie. That was the last Sony animated picture. So I was a little worried. I thought it looked really good, but I went into the theater with a little bit of hesitation, a little bit of concern, but it just blew every expectation out of the water.
I don't even remember like if I'd seen many of the trailers for it, and it really did just like catch me by surprise because I literally just went, oh, animated Spider-Man movie, I guess I'll go watch that. And then I watched it and I was like, oh.
Yeah. And it sounds like that's how a lot of people were.
I think, yeah. And I think that's kind of what made this movie do so well. Part of like the memory I've got of this movie as well is I'm pretty sure this was the first Marvel movie after Stan Lee died.
That is correct.
And I think his cameo in it really like kind of hit me as well. And I was like, oh, and that's like the main memory I have of watching this in the cinema as well.
For the people listening to the audio version of this, the hoodie just came off of me.
He is.
So that means we're getting into the real
if
conversation.
We stay here for another half hour, he's going to take the shirt off as well. Okay. I'm going to tell your story.
Surely, Dean, you know about the swimsuit Mario, but we're just going to leave Duffy in the dark.
I'm sure I could figure it out.
No.
Okay. So my experience with this movie is less positive. So I was following this movie since like the moment it was announced, just because I've always been like kind of connected to different like social media comic networks, if you will.
Sure.
And I did not want this movie to be good, because if it wasn't good, most likely Sony would have handed the Spider-Man assets to Marvel.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is a dream. So Sony, because like Sony like took away Spider-Man, like so like there was this whole thing. So I was going into this movie and I was like, this better flop.
No.
And I saw it and then I was a little bitter. Because alas,
damn, that was a fantastic movie. Son of a bitch.
Literally. And I was like, yeah, that was really good.
Yeah.
And so
I imagine you just leaving the cinema absolutely fuming.
So that's why my opinion on it is
forgot
possibly potentially a little
Yeah,
tainted.
yeah.
Because
Yeah, I forgot about the whole Sony
So
Disney
did I,
thing.
actually.
I guess that was around that time.
I'm remembering more things from watching this in cinema now. This movie charmed me immediately because there's got the really cool like opening credits with the cool music as well, and then it cuts to the approved by the Comics Code Authority.
Yeah.
And I remember laughing out loud at that because I'm like, haha, I'm an intellectual. I understand this joke. Like being
you're British.
And then the other bit was
oh my. Well, I'll be if that's not the Comic Code Authority. Oh, ho, ho. Hey, you guys want to have me back on the podcast? This is a lot of
if
fun.
I knew I was going to be mocked this mercilessly, I might have made different plans tonight. What was I going to say?
And for a longer podcast.
And just to jump forward quite a bit, the other thing I remember was just how impressed I was with this movie's end credit scene.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I thought it was. Yeah. Yeah.
Because at the time I was like, wow, that's
really
And obviously now if you ask me what's your favorite part of this movie, I wouldn't go, oh, the end credit scene. I'm not like a Venom 2 fan or anything. But, but like that's the thing that I remember thinking at the time. I was like, that's very clever.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I think it's weird because Across the Spider-Verse is coming.
Yeah.
That still hasn't really like sunk in yet. Well, it's coming. That's my favorite movie of all time is coming, and it's a 2-parter. I am so excited about that.
It's gonna be good.
Okay. So another question we love to ask here is, would you be able to tell us what your favorite part of this movie is?
Do you want me to be cliche and say the "What's Up Danger" scene?
That is, in my humble opinion, the greatest scene in cinematic history.
Yeah, you're right.
Harlan is squirming right now.
Sure.
Sure.
I won't get on that boat. I won't get on that boat, but I'll let it pass.
Okay. Yeah.
It's pretty.
I don't know. There might be other parts of the movie that I.
Yeah.
Like,
if we talk in more general terms, I might say something like the animation in general.
Yes. In a more general term, it's.
But the "What's Up Danger" scene, the leap of faith.
Yes.
Is my favorite scene in any movie ever, I think.
It's a phenomenal scene. It's
goosebumps every time.
Oh. Yes. Cried 3 times in theaters watching the beauty unfold in front of me.
The bit, honestly, I cry at this movie every time, I think. And I don't know why this bit makes me cry. But it's we're jumping all around.
It's supposed to be like triumphant, but like you're just marveling at the beauty.
Yeah. The bit that makes me cry is the bit when his dad is on the other side of the door and he's all webbed up. And I don't know why it gets me every time. I'm like,
yeah. That's right before "What's Up Danger."
He just wants to be a nice dad.
Yeah. I am glad that Officer Davis is a good dad.
Yeah. And they love to kill him off as well, so I'm glad they didn't in this as well. He's got 2 alive parents, which is nice to see.
Yeah. We got 4 hours. We got 4 hours of sequels coming up.
I think they're definitely going to kill the dad. I think
that they have to.
See that happening.
He's dead, and I'm going to be sobbing.
Have you played the PS4 games?
Yes, but Harlan hasn't. So
I am 25% through them.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, he only just got himself a PlayStation. That's fun.
Yeah,
I just did the other day. Anyway, Harlan, what's your favorite part of this movie? You fuck.
Whoa!
You fuck.
I went.
Sorry,
okay,
it's my Englishness is slipping out.
Like you fuck.
Dean snapped back. Whoa.
Anyways,
I don't know if I've ever sworn on this podcast.
I guess that was it. I would say that was a pretty good way to take your swearing.
You've upset me. No, I'm kidding. You like what you like. I don't have an issue.
Sorry, guys.
I really like just like the quick little Easter eggs you can find throughout the movie. I mean, there's so many good things in the movie, like That and the voice acting, probably.
Yeah, and they've got so many good people in this as well.
They
Funnily
really-
enough, which so many of them have now joined the MCU.
Yeah, I think that's funny.
Because you got what? So there's Catherine Hahn.
Mhm.
Yep, she's Agatha and Doc Ock.
Yeah, Haley Steinfeld.
You know, Spider-Gwen and
And Kate Bishop.
Kate Bishop.
Ooh.
At the end, you get Oscar Isaac.
He's in like five things.
And then you get Liev Schreiber, not MCU, but still Marvel. He's Sabretooth in X-Men, and he's Kingpin.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It's not always about the money.
Can I hear that one more time?
Yeah. Can we get that? Like,
Can someone give me what's the actual line? Can someone feed me the line, please?
It's not always about the money, Spider-Man.
It's not always about the money, Spider-Man. I feel like that was pretty good.
That was better than the first try.
Have you guys heard my Oscar Isaac in the Moon Knight trailer impression?
I saw that video.
I just lost a contact lens. Oh, I'm a big fan. Anyone, if you've listened to enough of this podcast, they know I'm a big fan of a big dumb accent, unless it's,
Yeah.
is Oscar Isaac American?
Oscar Isaac's American, yeah.
Yes, he is.
Oh.
Yeah, but what was I about to say?
You're talking about the cast of the movie?
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, I love a big dumb accent.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then you got Marshala Ali, who's about to be Blade.
Yeah. I'm
Oh,
excited
yeah.
about that. It's going to be a good Blade.
Zoe Kravitz, who's about to be Catwoman.
Well,
Yeah.
That's not a Marvel project, though.
Weird, very true. Brian Tyree Henry.
That's the dad.
Yeah, he's the dad, and who's he in the MCU? Anyone?
He's Phasmos.
Phastos in Eternals.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, and you can
Yeah.
tell, like, it does really sound like him when you notice that. You're like, oh, yeah.
I didn't notice that when I was watching the movie the first time, but
I struggled to
Anytime I
pick up on
see
Haley.
clips from
I
it
struggled to
afterwards,
pick up
I'm
on
like-
Haley Steinfeld. I think I'm like, oh, that's Haley Steinfeld. But like Brian Tyree Henry, I'm like, yeah, that sounds like him. And Jake
It is.
Johnson, Nicolas Cage. Oh, that's a
What a
good
man.
question. Who's
Hey,
everyone's
guys.
favorite Spider-Man in this?
Ooh.
ooh.
Well, I mean, besides Miles, how about?
Yeah, okay. Oh, I
Yeah,
kind of-
aside
the
from
thing
Miles.
is-
that's-
the thing is, I want to go with like Peter B. Parker.
Mhm.
But another part of me wants to go with Spider-Man Noir, just because I think he's the funniest character in.
I really like Spider-Ham.
I just find Spider-Man Noir so funny. Where I go, the wind follows, and the wind smells like rain.
Is that wind? We're in a basement.
Dude,
But then Spider-Ham's iconic as well. I feel
Yeah,
like I just go Spider-Man Noir because I want to see. I just don't know. I think it's so funny.
I laugh at Spider-Ham every time because it's just so stupid. Like when he
Yeah.
whips out the sledgehammer, oh my god, I die. It's so
you
funny.
think cartoons are funny?
You're
Is that
John
a problem with
Mulaney.
cartoons?
I can't do any better, so I'm not going to.
I'll do an impression. I know I can quote all these characters. I've seen this movie enough times. This is the movie I
Yeah.
watched the most times in 2021.
Really?
Mm.
I don't
Mine
think
was
I'm the
Spider-Man
same
No
with
Way
you. I
Home.
don't know which movie I watched the most in 2021. I can
yeah.
probably
I've seen
Anyway,
No Way Home.
Colin,
5
who's
times.
your favorite
actually.
Spider-Man?
My favorite? Wait, Collins or mine?
Oh, mine?
Like,
Collins.
I don't know. That's a tough question because I feel like I separate them. You got like the main three who are important to the story.
Yeah,
You got Spider-Gwen,
100%.
Miles, and Peter B. Then you got more kind of like the comic relief guys, Penny, Noir, and Ham. I
then
think
you
my
got-
favorite,
Yeah,
like, of course, Miles is one of the best Spider-Man iterations, specifically in this movie. I love how Peter B. Parker plays off of Miles as the older, really good.
I really love his arc in this movie as well.
Yeah, like I love it when characters in movies help each other. So like the
Yeah.
mentor helps the student and the student helps the mentor. I really like that about this movie.
Yeah.
Um,
Just a bit at the end when he rings the doorbell for Mary Jane.
yeah, that's
Oh.
so nice. And Miles tells is holding him at the end and tells him it's just a leap of faith. That's really nice because it just reminds Peter what he always knew to be true. And
there are so many good callbacks in that last scene.
He rings the doorbell.
Yeah. So there's so many good callbacks in the one scene with like the touch. Oh, what is it? Is it that? Yeah, it's that you ever heard about the touch? And then there's the bit where he does the really cool move up to the top, and they go, "Oh, I didn't teach him that. Did you teach him that?" It's like, no, and it's just copying Chris Pine, Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Just all around great stuff.
Yeah.
Harlan, what's your favorite bit? Have I asked you that?
Yeah, you asked me that. I told you the voice acting.
Yeah.
Okay. So, personally, I cannot answer this question because I don't have something to say. And we do ask all our guests this. Is there anything you don't like about this movie?
Oh, man.
Is there something you would go, oh, if I was to like remake this movie, I would change that? Because personally, I don't think there is.
Gosh, I can't. Okay.
Good question.
One thing. It's not a major thing at all.
Go on.
My favorite song from the soundtrack, aside from like Sunflower and What's Up Danger, is a song called Invincible. And it's played during the scene where Officer Davis is driving Miles to school. And you can barely hear it in the movie. And I'm a little upset about that because I like that.
That's a valid one. That's a good one.
If it were up to me, I would have turned the volume up a tiny bit more. That's my one complaint with this movie.
Yeah, good answer. What about you, Harlan?
Well, how about that? I think the one like ensemble character, if you will, that's lacking is Penny. Like,
yeah,
I think like maybe it isn't necessarily a flaw, but just like in a
could have done
movie
more.
Like it just was like less than compared to the others.
Yeah, that's why I have my separation between the three main Spider characters and the more offset, jokey, oh, it's neat that they're here characters.
Right. And like Spider-Ham sticks out to me because like Spider-Ham was one of the few comics I read growing up. So when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, no way.
Yeah, I think now that you bring that up, if I actually had to make a real complaint about the movie, I kind of wish there was a little more character development for some of the side characters.
Yeah.
Like Kingpin as a villain, he works really well, I think, but he's not like as in depth as like a Vulture or a Mysterio or a Goblin, you know?
But then you get to the point of where like if you give those characters, like those ensemble characters, those antagonists, like more screen time, does that affect the pacing of the movie?
I think it would hurt us. I think they gave us just enough.
Yeah.
Would you be
understand what's going on?
Miles's or Peter's arc, or like Gwen's if you give more time to Kingpin? But
they focused on what's important, and I respect that.
We should also say this is the only Spider-Man movie to give us the Sinister Six.
Technically, yeah.
I don't think we can call it the Sinister Six until they say we're the Sinister Six.
Yeah,
like they're marketed.
But
like that.
six villains is close.
Technically, six villains to fight six Spider-Men.
Yeah.
No Way Home only had 5. What a letdown.
Yeah.
Well, there were 6 in the movie.
Venom's not really a villain.
I always forget about the Venom post-credit scene.
And he's not a villain. In that, Venom isn't a villain. He's a superhero.
Well, he's an anti-hero, so.
Anti-hero.
Call me the Lethal Protector.
And you thought the Lethal Protector was a shit name.
Okay. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
That is the subject.
What do people want to see from the second one?
Do we rate it in our own personal, like out of 10?
10.
10. Can I go further beyond?
11.
Oh my God.
I'd say 12, Dean. I don't want to overshadow your 11, but I'd say 12.
Oh, actually, now I've thought about it a little bit. I'm gonna have to change my answer to 12.4.
Okay, I give it. I don't want to be that guy.
Oh,
he's gonna say like 8.
He's gonna
no. I give it a 9.5 out of 10.
That's fair.
And the only reason that 0.5 is not there is just because it just didn't do for me like what No Way Home did.
Sure.
It like
Okay.
it was really good. Everything was there, but just like the emotional connection was just distant, and that might be due to my expectations going into it.
Sure.
That just locked that part off, or up to what could have been a much more pleasant viewing experience.
Mhm.
But I freaking hate this movie.
It's my least favorite good movie I've ever seen.
My least favorite perfect movie.
This
ever
is going to be
made.
me. Imagine if like Morbius is the movie that's like this, and everyone's like, "Wow, that was actually an amazing movie."
Oh my god!
Imagine
I
basically
forgot
we have a long.
Is Morbius out?
No,
Not,
because
no,
of April
it's been
1st.
delayed.
Yeah.
We have a long running thing on this podcast, and just in my life in general. This isn't a podcast exclusive thing about me really disliking Jared Leto. And I'm really not looking forward to Michael Morbius. And I'm just thinking, what if we sit down and watch Michael Morbius and it's a good movie? What do I do with my life?
Yeah, I really want it to be good. Like, I really hope it's good.
Because, like,
I'm kind of going in it with the same expectations as like a Venom movie. Where, like, I'm sure it will be a little entertaining. I'm sure the story will be a little messed up, but it's not messed up in like, oh, that's so creepy and weird, but messed up as in like a not really well put together story.
I just think that I'm like, yeah, it's probably gonna be about the same as Venom, and then my brain just goes, Jared. The thing is, the Venom movies, in my opinion, I think I like them less than the average person, but I do like them. But the thing is, I really love Tom Hardy, and I think the movies are just fine. The thing is,
he carries the movies.
Yeah. The thing is, with Morbius, that my opinion on Tom Hardy and my opinion on Jared Leto could not be further apart.
Sure, I get that.
So I'm gonna kind of be. If it's good, I feel like I'm just gonna quit TikTok. I'm not telling anyone. Not telling anyone. Just I'll never post again.
Yeah. Did you prefer Venom 1 or 2?
2.
I prefer 2 a lot more too.
Because it's 90 minutes.
Yeah, it's short. It gets to the point. It focuses on the good aspects of the first movie.
Yeah, it's more fun.
It's a good time.
It knows what it is much more than the first one did.
Yeah.
It's not trying to be something. Yeah, you're right. It's not trying to be. Anyway, Across the Spider-Verse Part 1. What's on everyone's wish list?
First off, I just got to say how absolutely insane it is that this is a 2-parter.
Yeah, I've been going back and forth that in my mind, but I think I am happy about it now.
It's weird. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure this is the first animated feature film that is a 2-parter.
Yeah, I think you could make an argument that this is the first superhero 2-parter as well. You could make that argument.
Yeah.
Well, like, but is it like Endgame based? Well,
yeah.
I mean,
but originally it was Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2, and then they were like, no, these aren't. And then they were like, no, these aren't Part 1 and Part 2. They're 2 different.
Yeah, they separated them.
But they did release it like Part 1 and Part 2.
Yeah, but
yes, they're the closest I can think of to a superhero movie.
It's definitely the closest you'll get.
Yeah, I'm kind of running through my catalog right now. I can't think of any superhero movie Part 1s and Part 2s.
But you're right. I didn't even think about any other. There's no other animated movies which are Part 1 and Part 2.
Yeah, I thought about that kind of when this was announced.
But then what like sequel to an animated movie has been as anticipated as this?
What movies can you name that had Part 1 and Part 2?
There's like the final Harry Potter movie.
You go Harry. It's all the like Harry Potter, Twilight.
It's
Hunger
like the
Games.
big saga movies. Where the final
They're the 3
movie
I think
so
of.
big
Hunger
that they
Games.
split it into 2 parts.
Yeah, Hunger Games, Twilight, Harry Potter.
Yeah, I was about to say, sorry, we're talking over each other, explaining the same thing.
It's just such a stupid question. You guys are like, no.
But you're right. See, the thing is, if it was like, this was like, let me think of a good. If this was like, let's say this was a few years ago, and they were like, let me think of a way to. So for like the Hunger Games, when they're like, oh, we're doing a Part 1 and a Part 2 of the last movie. In my brain, I just would have thought, oh, they just want more money. And they're like, oh, we can do this and make more money.
Yeah,
it's what they do with Harry Potter. And that's what annoys me. So when I think of Part 1 and Part 2 movies, I'm always like, ugh. they're just doing it to get more money and blah blah blah. But when I think about number one, this movie wasn't originally announced as a part one movie. So I just like, my gut feeling is because there was such like a strong creative vision behind the first movie that they started making the second one. They were like, oh, this is two movies. Like, in my mind, I'm like, oh, this is so ambitious.
Yeah, I feel like there's two ways you could look at it. They're either making this a two-parter because of the success of the first Spider-Verse movie being one of the first Sony animated picture wins, being one of the best superhero movies of all time. They're either cashing in on that, or it's just a genuine passion project.
Yeah, and I like to think that it's just that they feel like, oh, they've done something really ambitious with the second one. And they've got,
from everything that I can tell about the production of this movie and the last one, it seems like there's some genuine heart in this crew and love for the material, to where I think this is a genuine movie.
Right, and I think like even kind of where it is, like when it was made, it wasn't made like a Tom Holland Spider movie. It was just kind of like, this is kind of a whatever thing, and hopefully this will get people's
interest. Yeah, because a lot of time I think that's where the best movies like this kind of come from, because there's no studio really like looming over them, and they're like, you need to do this and you need to do that and blah blah blah, where they kind of, it seems like they were kind of just left to their own devices, because they're like, oh, it's just an animated movie, who minds? But then it took them like a week to animate 60 seconds of this movie.
Yeah, right.
It's just insane.
Hopefully
4 years, I believe, to animate the entire project, which is a long time in animation.
Yeah. Have you got any hopes and desires for the sequel, Harlan?
I hope, one thing that I really hope is, I hope I can get some new rotations in my playlist from this movie.
Yeah.
I hope there are some bangers.
Yeah. My hope is that you grow up and like this one. If it's good. If it's bad,
if it's bad, I'm just gonna rip apart the first one even more.
Oh,
you know, because
I think
the first one.
I think
9.5 out of 10.
That's I'm a little concerned for this movie. The first movie I was concerned because it was the follow-up Sony animated movie to the Emoji Movie. This time there's a little bit of dread, just because it is the sequel to my favorite movie of all time.
Exactly. Yeah. In my mind, I'm like, what if this is bad? The thing is, people in my comments, I did a video about movies which I think need a sequel, and it was just a joke video. But someone commented, oh, I bet if this was a real video, then you would say Baby Driver. And then I thought about it, and I was like, no, I don't want a sequel.
No, it doesn't need a sequel.
But this movie, I'm like, yeah, I want a sequel for this.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing. There's like the wanting to see more of it, to get more of what you have, but there's also the dread of it might not live up to the original.
Exactly. So what would you put your percentage chance of this movie being great at? Like if you had to bet.
Greater?
I give it an 80%.
I was thinking 85.
It could do a lot more. I'm going to give it a solid 50-50 chance that it will be greater, though.
Ooh.
I just have that much of a love and respect for the first movie, to where I'm like, this movie's got to do something truly brilliant to top that.
I get that.
Well, I give it an 80 because looking at No Way Home, like in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, they did not listen to what the fans wanted. They listened to what the studio wanted.
Yeah.
What the studio thought the fans would want, instead of actually listening to the fans.
Yeah. And don't get that vibe from this movie.
Yeah, and from No Way Home, especially, like No Way Home did what the fans wanted, what the fans would appreciate, what they listened. And I think people kind of say they hope this one is like such like a beautiful story again, and they're not going to try to, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want this movie to be what the fans want. I want it, like, for No Way Home, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm happy with all the fan service and everything like that.
Fan service movie.
But I want this movie to be what the people that are making it want it to be.
Right, and I agree.
I definitely get the vibes of that.
I think what the fans want is for the
Yeah.
creators to be able to fulfill
Yeah.
their creative vision.
But then you said that I see a lot of TikToks from certain people being like, "Oh, I really want this old voice actor for Spider-Man to cameo in this, and this old voice actor for Spider-Man to cameo in this." And I'm like, I don't care.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't. I
Like,
like
that's
if
going to be
none of
some
them
neat
appeared
stuff.
in it, I wouldn't be bothered.
Like if the Spectacular Spider-Man showed up, the guy who voiced that, I'd be like, why? Unless he did it well, then it's
Yeah, and I see people. Yeah.
That is a concern I have for this movie, that they're going to lean way too hard into the references to where it takes away from the story. Like we talked about earlier with the villains, if they spent too much time on the villains, it would take away from Miles and Peter B's story.
Because
I feel like they can do a decent balance. Like I bet there's going to be like one or two scenes like the basement scene in the original movie where it's just like, oh, here's Spider-Ham, here's Noir, here's Spider-Man 99, here's the Japanese Spider-Man. They do all that.
Yes, we know what. So Spider-Woman is definitely in it. Jessica Drew's in it.
Yes, I think that was
Japanese Spider-Man's in it.
Yeah.
What I was going to say is I think the first movie is probably like one of my favorite examples of fan service, of like them doing our little nods to the people that know their stuff without like detracting from the other. Like I was like, because there's like what Hannah was talking about with the little details, like the Comics Code Authority. End credit scene is such a good like joke for the fans that doesn't detract from the movie at all, with the pointing meme obviously. And then you get stuff like all the suits and all the vehicles and stuff like that.
Stuff like that doesn't take up time.
Yeah.
And doesn't detract from anything. I never thought about that, but yeah, you're exactly right.
It does. I think it does. Yeah, that kind of fan service well of kind of just being like, oh, there's if you know what this is, you're going to be like, oh, that's really good. And if you don't, you're not going to think twice about it.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. I found the cast for the second one, if it loads.
Yeah. I'll talk about this real quick. My mom, the first time we saw it, the Comic Code Authority, just because that did take up like a couple seconds, she was like, what's that? And I was like, oh, don't worry about it, it's just neat. But yeah, you're exactly right with how they do that.
I do like that joke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I just want a movie that's a movie. You know what I mean? I don't.
Yeah.
It's like not complaining about Spider-Man No Way Home, because I did really like it.
Mm-hmm.
But so much of that was just look at this, look at this, look at this.
Yes. So let me ask you this question: do you prefer Avengers: Infinity War or Endgame?
Infinity War.
Infinity War.
Good man. Good man. Yeah.
I think it's just kind of common knowledge that Infinity War is just a better watch than Endgame.
Yeah, but when I left Endgame, I probably would have said Endgame.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a hype movie.
By the end of that movie, you're kind of like, that was the greatest movie I've ever seen. Like immediately, that's kind of where my brain was at. Do you know? And then over time, you're like, oh, yeah.
But the second watch, you kind of start to realize like, hey, this
is long
and slow.
This is long and slow, and I just want to get to the cool stuff again.
Okay, so the only 5 confirmed cast members for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1 is Shameik Moore as Miles Morales, obviously. Haley Steinfeld's back as Gwen. Oscar Isaac is Spider-Man 2099. I'm going to say this name wrong. Issa Rae is Jessica Drew, who's Spider-Woman.
Is it Issa Rae?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that sounds more right. And Jake Johnson is back as Peter B. Parker.
Cool. I'm glad he's back.
I love Peter.
Of course, he would be back, but
Peter B. Parker's great.
And Jake Johnson's great.
Yeah.
I love him. He's so good.
I think they go hand in hand. Peter B. Parker and Jake Johnson, both great.
Yeah.
Did you hear about him like recording lines to send to kids in hospital and stuff?
I did not, but
like in character as Spider-Man.
What a cool guy.
He's great.
Yeah. What's the time? Any closing thoughts on this?
Oh, we're at the end?
We are at the end.
Seems as though we are.
Oh, it's flown by. I could talk about this movie for literal hours.
Oh, I know you could.
Oh, I know you could, Dean.
I could talk it for about an hour.
Yeah, like I said, probably second or third favorite movie ever, favorite animated, favorite superhero, and the second one better be good. Or imagine if, like, at the end of the year, it's just a universally agreed fact that Morbius is better than Spider-Verse 2.
Oh my god,
Dude,
I don't
I
like thinking
don't
about that,
hope
but that
like I don't hope that, but also that would be really funny.
It would be the end of me.
Yeah,
I'll
I
never
would
be able
never
to show
let it
my
go.
face in public again.
I'd be like, hey, remember when Morbius is
rather
better than
cry.
Spider-Verse 2?
Oh.
I don't want to think about that. Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for joining us, Colin. It's been a delight.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was
Sometimes you were
a lot
really
of
mean to
fun.
me.
Oh, my back's starting to hurt.
Somebody pop this podcast.
Yeah.
That's classic No Way Home reference there.
There you go.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us. We'll link your stuff in the description below if people want to go check out your stuff and the 6969 video, which I cannot recommend enough.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was going to talk about my upcoming project.
Oh.
I think starting tomorrow or Tuesday, I'm going to start airing a 16-part, 16-day series about my transformation into Super Mario. It's a comedy series that spans 16 days that I spent way too much time on. And it's coming out today. Because listeners,
I'm actually really excited now.
I think it turns out I'm not completely done with it yet. There's a little bit more I need to do. But I think it's turned out pretty well.
Oh, okay, actually, that's exciting. So people go look at that as well.
Yeah.
Harlan, actually, I was just reminded of something. Do you want to, like, give me your best Mario impression, like, in the accent he speaks in?
You know, that's a really good question. Wait, the new Mario or the old Mario?
Just any
Mario.
Italian-based.
Italian-based. Okay. It's me. It's Mario.
Pizza pie.
Pizza pie. Look at the Chris Pratt one.
Hello, it's me, Mario. Wahoo!
Whatever.
I was kind of in shock by that. I was okay. Yeah, thanks for showing off. On that note, I'm gonna finish this here.
Adios, everybody.
I do best. I do Mario and show off.
Thank you for joining us, Colin, and we'll see you guys next week.
Have me on again. This was fun.
Adios.